Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again. And on today's episode, I have a bit of a shocking story for you here today. This is a cheating story from a wife, of course, but it is a little bit different than normal, okay? So this woman, she's a wife of, I don't know how many years just yet, but she's 34, and she decided to lie to her husband about a reunion and said, hey, listen, you can't come to this reunion. It's a no spouse reunion. And the reason why she did this was because she wanted to see her ex-boyfriend. So the dude essentially got told that he couldn't come, but the real reason was because she wanted to see her ex-boyfriend. Insane stuff. And this is from a couple that's in their 30s. They're married in their 30s. She's 34 and he's 36. And I believe this is based off of a Reddit story. So let's jump into this one. He says, so this is written from the man's perspective. It says, I feel like an idiot writing this, but I need some perspective. My wife, named Emily, who is 34, and I, 36, have been married for 7 years. Up until now, I thought things were good. We had the normal ups and downs, but nothing made me question our relationship. And that changed when she went off to her college reunion last month, and I found out she straight up lied to me to keep me from going. Now I don't know if I should even try to fix this. The answer is no. And just by the way, with situations like this, right, men will often say, oh, you know, I had no reason to question our marriage and stuff. I thought everything was going fantastic. There were no red flags. A lot of guys just are completely, as I'm reading through these stories, you know, and covering this kind of content all the time, I realize that men oftentimes overlook things that they really should not be overlooking. You know, there are oftentimes signs, there are things that wives do that show that they won't be a good wife, or girlfriends do that show that they won't be a good idea to marry. And dudes will just overlook this stuff, or they won't even realize what a problem it is until later on when they lose the house, they lose the kids, and so on. So, a couple of months ago, Emily told me about her upcoming reunion in Montana. She was excited, and we'd always talked about going there together one day. She even asked if I wanted to come along, saying a lot of people were bringing their spouses. Sounded fun, so we booked our flights, planned a few hikes, and even decided to extend the trip a few extra days. I guarantee you, by the way, that the dude is paying for all of this stuff, right? Whenever I hear these stories and the wives are cheating, it's funny because it's actually not funny, but the man is typically the provider in these situations, and the woman is stepping out of the marriage, right? Because she has her provider now. She has the dude who's always going to be there, who's going to be stable. And a lot of these women miss the fun that they had in their 20s, right? Because they spent so long screwing around with bad boys, they inevitably end up returning there and completely destroying their marriages in the process. So, about 10 days before they were supposed to leave, she told me the reunion organizers had changed the rules. No spouses were allowed because of venue capacity. She seemed bummed, but said there was nothing she could do. I was disappointed, but I didn't question it. I figured it wasn't her fault. This is a bit sketchy, right? These organizers must be terrible organizers if they just suddenly realize that there's not enough capacity, you know? So this guy's alarm bells should have been ringing, in my opinion. The night before she left, I noticed she was packing way more carefully than usual. New dresses, new shoes, extra makeup, more than she even takes on work trips. And see, this is ringing even more of my alarms going off in my head here, right? Because this is a woman who frequently goes on work trips as well. So she has a very large distance between her and her husband, you know, because what this is signaling, guys, is if you catch a woman like this lying once, the problem is she's probably lied a whole bunch of times, and she's had the opportunity to do so many, many times over. You know, your wife does something sketchy, okay? And then you know, you understand that she goes on work trips all of the damn time. Things become very dicey very quickly, and the odds of her cheating on you astronomically go up. So he said, when I made a comment about it, she brushed it off, saying she wanted to look nice in reunion photos. I let it go, but something about it didn't sit right with me. So the classic dressing up more when you're not with your husband tactic. The real gut punch came the next day. One of her college friends, Matt, texted me, Dude, why didn't you come? Emily told everyone you had to work. That confused me because she told me that spouses weren't allowed. Then he hit me with the truth. She'd been spending all of her time with Jake. Jake is her ex, the guy she dated all through college. Attached to his message was a photo of the reunion itinerary, and spouses were welcome. I just sat there staring at my phone, trying to wrap my head around it. So here's the thing as well. This is these wives are amazing with their lying skills, right? Because they just lie about crap that is so verifiably untrue. You know, so all it takes is one understanding for a man to come across something that doesn't quite add up, and then all of a sudden she just throws the marriage away because she lied about something stupid, right? And people will say, oh, you know, you shouldn't break up with your wife over something like this. But this is very shady behavior, guys. You know, lying to your husband so that you can go and spend time with another guy, that's an instant just over. You know, it's wrap it up, call it there, close the curtains, show's over. Okay, people try and gaslight men with all of these things. They try and say, you know, don't worry about it, push through it. You're supposed to be a good husband. You're supposed to stay with your wife and so on. But absolutely not, man. Very dodgy stuff here. And just such a stupid lie, right? This dude's friend told him that it wasn't the case. This guy probably could have asked any of the venue organizers and he would have figured it out so damn quickly, right? So he said, I called Emily that night. She sounded cheerful, going on about how great the reunion was. I casually mentioned the no spouse rule again, and she immediately doubled down on the venue issue. Then I asked about Jake. She hesitated for a second and then said that he hadn't made it. He was living in Australia now. And that was a lie, and I knew it. Again, just lying about dumb crap that is verifiably untrue, you know? So that night, he checked the phone records, multiple calls between Emily and a number he didn't recognize, including a long one just the day before she left. What a surprise. I sent the number to Matt, and he confirmed that it was Jake's. Jake hadn't moved to Australia. He had just moved back to Montana 6 months ago. At this point, I wasn't even mad. I just felt dumb. So there's a good chance that this woman has been cheating across her work, work trips and things like this. And she clearly just wanted to go and see this guy and probably hook up with him as well. So this is a woman who, by the way, is taking extra precautions with her looks and things because obviously she wants the attention from this guy. That's really what it's about. Women, again, lots of gaslighting and stories like this. You know, oh, don't worry about it. I just want to look good in the reunion photos. And it's always this plausible deniability bullcrap. And I think a lot of men are just over it. I really do. You know, oh, I go out and I dress up and I hit the clubs because I do it for myself, right? Or I post all of these photos on social media wearing bikinis because it's for myself. Like, let's be real about what it actually is, okay? It's trying to fish for attention from men. A lot of the times it does involve ex-boyfriends, unfortunately enough as well. So when she got home, I was waiting. I had phone records, screenshots, and the reunion itinerary laid out. She walked in all smiles and then immediately froze when she saw everything. She tried to play it off, saying she didn't want me to feel awkward about Jake being there. So she figured it was easier to tell me that I couldn't come. This is, I believe the phrase for this, by the way, is called trickle truthing, right? Where like a woman gets caught with one lie, okay, in this instance. So what she'll do is she'll lie, but she'll go back to the next feasible lie. You see what I'm saying? So once you confront her with the truth and the evidence, she says, oh, well, that's true, but, and then she puts up another defense, right? When the clear reason was because she wanted to talk to the guy. So again, this is designed to make you as the man question yourself. It's designed to make you as the dude think that she was actually the one in the right and she was trying to be considerate, even though it's complete nonsense. Okay, I believe it's called trickle truthing is what this is. Just lying to the point that you can, and when you get called out on it, you know, you shift it a bit. When I asked about the phone calls, she flipped it on me. She said I had invaded her privacy by checking the records. Okay, kick her out. Kick her out. Then she said Jake was going through a tough divorce and she was just being supportive. I didn't buy it. Is that what we're calling it these days, man? You know, oh, I'm just being supportive. Yeah, I bet you were being real supportive. You know, really, really, really supportive. Get the hell out of here. And this like whole thing of getting angry at the man. Okay, you catch your wife doing some very sketchy behavior, and then she complains about privacy. No, sorry. This you know, again, any opportunity to shift the truth, to blame the man, to gaslight the man, to make him question himself will be used when she gets caught doing some nonsense. Very common stuff here. So he says, I took a few days to think. I stayed with my sister, who's a family law attorney, and tried to figure out if this was something we could even come back from. No, absolutely not. Get her out. Some friends told me I should hear Emily out. Yeah, they're not your friends, my friend. Others said this was a massive breach of trust, and once there's trust gone, there's no fixing it. Then Matt sent me more photos. Emily and Jake sitting way too close, laughing like they were the only two people in the room. One with a hand on her lower back. The worst one, she had switched her assigned seat at the reunion dinner to sit next to him. Hell no, man. Hell no. He says, I filed for divorce a couple of weeks later. She fought it, saying that we could work through it. Again, this whole like working through it thing, man, is really the women just don't want to lose access to the finances and the stability that the men provide. It has zero, absolutely zero to do with the fact that, hey, maybe she cares about you, right? Maybe she cares about the man. No. The reason why she's doing this and she's trying to work through it is not because she made vows, okay? Not because she understands the sanctity of marriage, for example. No. The reason why the women do this is because they don't want to be parted with your wallet and the benefits that come with it. That's all that it is, man. So, but then just days before the separation was finalized, she sent me an email titled The Whole Truth. She admitted that she and Jake had been talking for weeks before the reunion. Oh, really? That she had lied about the spouse ban to have some time alone with him, and that things got physical on the last night. She didn't, she said she wasn't asking for forgiveness. She just wanted to be honest. I didn't care. It was too late. Again, right? Once she's busted, now she's happy to tell all of this. You know, just ridiculous, just ridiculous. So he says, I forwarded the email to my sister but didn't take further legal action. I just wanted out. Emily made one last attempt to reconcile, even showing up to my apartment to ask if we could be friends. That's so funny. Oh yeah, we're gonna be best pals, you know? Hell no, we can't be friends. What is the point, guys? I don't understand the point of being friends with women. I really don't. Right? Like, what are we? No. Holy hell. So she shows up to his apartment, restraining order. And she asked to be friends. The audacity on this woman is crazy. Now he's just trying to move on, but part of him is still processing all of it. He never thought that he'd be in this position. Doesn't even know if he wants advice or if he just wants to get it off his chest. But anyone who's been through something similar, how did you even start to trust again after something like this? I love that question that men ask. You know, they're like, how do I trust again after something like this? You know the answer to that question? You don't, right? Like, there's a very, very fine line between just trusting people and naivety, okay? And trusting a lot of modern women is just straight up being naive, in my opinion. This dude was married for, how long was he married for? 7 years, right? And women do this crap. Insane. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.